This lake seems to be very clear. But when you take a closer look, soon you realize that the water has a brownish color. And thriving in such, patches of water hyacinth float by on the water that has very high tides. This water hyacinth has been piling up along the shores, colonizing the entire shoreline. It is now blooming. But how did this all happen?
The water hyacinth has bred so heavily, not because of anything, but it's because of the heavy pollution and the siltation that comes from the catchment areas through River Nyando and others. So in the end of it sort of provides heavy manure fertilizer in form of silt.
Described as one of the fastest growing plants known, the water hyacinth is coexisting with the napier grass, and the two have both for a long time staked their claim on the shores. Research reveals that the presence of the hyacinth is man-made, especially considering the high levels of pollution in the lake that are blamed on the high numbers of industries located in Kisumu that dump their waste into the water.
Because of the industrial effluent that in some cases is not treated, as well as the urban municipal waste of the surrounding towns that are yet to have proper sewerage facilities. So in other words, Kisumu is a case of where we have a huge problem of managing waste.
The weed has from the early 90s blocked fishing boats and landing sites and communal water points along the lake shore. The hyacinth, scientifically known as Eichonia craspes, has long fibrous roots. The spongy tissues in its stem enables it to float in water. It grows in clusters, forming floating mats in the lake. And, according to scientists, the weed spreads out at an alarming rate, doubling its biomass every 15 days. This has been worsened by the communities that have settled around the lake.
Private companies have encroached on the lake because the lake should, I think, there are laws that allow us to have, I think, 200 meters before on the banks. The idea is to allow not the silt not to come in, to allow breeding of fish to happen.
Unfortunately, a plan to save the lake shared by the three East African countries of Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania, and funded by the World Bank and the Global Environment Facility, GEF, has made very little impact, especially in Kenya, where the first phase is behind schedule by 2 years.
I would want to urge the World Bank to really address the issue of delays in allowing the implementation teams in the countries to move forward, because there's a big space between when the request for the implementation countries is done, the implementation teams at the country level is done, and the World Bank approves.
Conservationists argue that the weed can be controlled by mechanical means, manpower and machines, but this has been mostly unsuccessful since the weed grows faster than mechanical clearance can cope with. Various herbicides were also effective but have significant risks for other wetland biodiversity. The lake is a shared resource between Kenya with 6%, Uganda 45% and Tanzania 49%. Kadoda, NTV, Ecotalk.